Well, hello and welcome to this blog. What I wanted to talk about in this blog is consequence-based risk identification. Now, I'm pretty sure you've never heard of it because it's a methodology that I've recently developed. And what do I mean by consequence-based risk identification? Well, I've talked to you on other blogs about how we identify risks by asking the question, what can go wrong? And we look at our risk breakdown structure and we develop all of that. Consequence-based risk identification looks at it from a different perspective, where we look at the consequence matrix that we have for our organisation and we ask the question, what would need to occur for us to actually see those consequences occur? That is a really good way of identifying those really high-level consequence risks within the organisation. So let's give you an example. Let's say that in our compliance consequence matrix in our organisation, we have in there loss of licence, which would obviously be a significant impact on the organisation. What we can actually do through a workshop is ask the question, what are some of the incidents or events that would lead to us losing our accreditation or our license? And once we've listed all of those, then we have identified some really high consequence risks. And I've talked to you about in previous blogs, we need to then look at the controls around those particular risks and make sure that those controls are effective to maintain the likelihood at a lower level. I'll give you another example, and it's one that's really interesting because people talk about reputation risk. To me, I know it's somewhat controversial, but reputation is a consequence. So once again, even if we're having a reputational risk type workshop within our organisation at a board level or at senior executive level, the question that we need to ask is, what events would occur that would lead to these reputational outcomes that we have in our consequence matrix? And once we do that, they are all events. Now, obviously, we cannot think of everything that can go wrong, but we can use the experience of others, we can use our own experience to identify things that might have gone wrong in the past and actually capture those as well. Essentially, it's just another tool in your toolbox to allow you to identify risk. So look at the consequence and ask the question, what would need to occur for us to see those consequences? And then you've got some real meaty risks that you can concentrate on as an organisation. So that's all I've got for this session. And as always, let's be careful out there.